The theory Political Economy in Mass Media and Communication focuses on how the power of politics and market forces affect mass media outcomes. This video explains how unethical gatekeeping of mass media based on political economic appetite for authoritative stories is processed. Such process is analyzed by the propaganda model introduced by Edward S. Herman and Noam Chomsky, including the 5 filters of mass media. First, let's understand what political economy in social science means. Political economy, as one of the branches of social science, studies the relationships of society in between the state and the market. It starts from the question, how does politics affect economic outcomes? This question is analyzed in 2 ways, classical political economy and critical political economy. Classical political economy is based on market-based mechanisms, while critical political economy emphasizes on the power that constrains those people without due to inequality on resource access. Now let's apply political economy into mass media. Political economic approach to mass media was investigated by economist media scholar Edward S. Herman and linguist social critic Noam Chomsky in basis of a model called the propaganda model. The propaganda model portrays how political power and economic market influences what media is going to show. This model shows 5 filters of mass media messages. The first filter is about size, concentrated ownership, owner wealth, and profit orientation of the dominant mass media firms. In deciding what becomes news, power and profit are considered to be the priority and critical journalism comes in second place. Regarding historical perspective of the political economic approach, the media has grown in the continuously developing information society where people's social and cultural lives commodification has evolved. As a result, the price of ownership of such huge media has become expensive, leading to only wealthy to be able to dominate the media companies. Media was therefore under pressure from the owners who seek for money making starting from 1980s, where the media stock has started to increase. Media companies were also in relations with the government wanting for policy support regarding taxes by taking favorable business. Adding on to the previous point where media initially seek for profit before critical journalism, media uses advertising to continuously fill up their profit. The second filter concerns about media having advertising as their main source of income. Advertisers directly influence media's success and its survival. Advertisers' goal is to sell their products to the audience. Media's goal is profit. The business between these two would be media selling the audience to the advertisers. The third filter regards media getting its source provided by the experts, including the government. Media companies are in a structural relationships with the government power for mutual interests. Information from sources that are portrayed credible, like government, does not require thorough and investigative consideration. Rather, information from less credible sources, such as personal journalism, require thorough investigation. Therefore, complicity without doubt among these powers is possible. The fourth filter explains the negative responses opposing the media message. Flak are the opposition to media stance. It can come in forms of letters, telegrams, phone calls, petitions, lawsuits, speeches, and more. If there is an opposition to what the media is trying to persuade, the media presents such opposition as a wrong and incorrect idea. The fifth filter talks about media creating a common enemy to more easily control the audience. Audience would choose which side they are on according to how groups are represented in media. The ideology helps mobilize the populace against the common enemy. Examples include communism versus anti-communism, terrorist versus anti-terrorist, and so on. Such media acts as a propaganda in ways that it frames and corral public opinions to be easily controlled. Propaganda's role is to persuade people to take specific action. Media unknowingly has characteristics of a propaganda without directly telling people what to do. This power affects culture, social norms, political life, economical insights, and more. In the book called Manufacturing Consent, Edward S. Herman and Noam Chomsky saw that media can manufacture consent. Consent is an idea where everybody agrees on. Herman and Chomsky saw such commonly agreed idea can be manufactured by the 5 filters of propaganda model. According to Noam Chomsky, the general population doesn't know what's happening and it doesn't know what it doesn't know. This refers to the powers behind the media which is not introduced to the audience. Media is definitely controlled by the elites. They have the power to decide what is to be shown through media. Media benefits profit from meeting the demands of the elite. Therefore, the pure role of mass media is spoiled, releasing incorrect or biased information to the audience. We as an audience has to absorb media critically, requiring critical thinking, and we need to have an insight to differentiate what is biased and what is not.